principles. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to see everybody. We're going to get started. And so I wanted to introduce Jyoti. She is going to be speaking with us about AI and prompt engineering. For those of you who have been getting all the emails, I'm Justin. I'm the one who's been incessantly saying reminder, workshop coming up. So I'm the Director of Programs and Partnerships here. And so I'm going to hand it over to Jyoti, and we'll make sure that this ends by 3:30. We know that it was a late start, but we'll make it work. So I'll hand it over to Jyoti.
Okay, thank you, Justin. Good afternoon, everyone. I know summer is going on and coming for a learning session. That's really good that you all are thinking about, upgrading your skills in terms of AI, which is like the in thing right now. We really can't escape from it. We have to adopt it and use it and make effective use of it to make our teaching and learning beneficial for us as well as for our students. That's what my goal is, so that educators can feel comfortable to dive deep into it and customize their prompts to get the most out of any AI tool out in the market. As I think I met some of you. I'm working as a freelancer with one of the AI startup, EdTech startup, as a growth lead. And I'm also helping them shape their product because I have been working with a lot of AI tools. I hosted a Magic School AI session, I think last year in December at KCI. So, and then today's session is specifically for prompt engineering, because that's like, when you're out from your classroom for a particular day and you would like to have a substitute teacher to run the class, you have a set of instructions laid out for the teacher. The more accurate your instructions are, the more clarity there is, the more effective the class will run. If you lose on information, the substitute teacher cannot do anything. It's all about that. So prompting in the best possible way, you can get the most out of any AI tool out in the market. About me a little bit. I am working as an IT technology services coordinator at a private independent school in Petula Valley. And this is my third year. I'm getting in that role and moving forward with it. I'm also working with the EdTech startup as a freelancer, helping them, just get their product up and ready with all the features, what teachers need, what they want, how to make it more effective and efficient. Have been in education for over 15 plus years. Back in India, I was working as a computer science teacher for over 5 years until I got married and came here. Took a long break because of not having work permit. I was on H4 spouse visa, had kids. So 10 years of my life, I dedicated to my family, my kids and everyone, and then got back to education in the form of EdTech specialist, in the form of technology specialist. So teaching was aside, but then I come from a family of educators. My father, my grandfather, my brother, everybody is in the field of education. So I really don't feel like I can get away with it. And I feel like I'm pretty natural at teaching any age group, whether it is 3-year-old or whether it is 30-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, whatever it is. So I feel like I have that and I would like to pursue with it. That's when I got started with KCI and I just loved it. I wanted to just keep on moving forward with it. I have my bachelor's and master's in computer science from India. I've also done diploma in hardware engineering and other certifications here and there. Worked in Los Altos School District, which is just a neighbor, for over 10 years as a technology specialist, and was also awarded the Employee of the Year 2022, which was a big thing for me. So, and both my kids attended Los Altos School District, so I was around my kids all the while. Now they don't want me around. One is in college, one is in high school. They are like, leave us alone, we are good. Then came the STEAM leadership program, which was very enticing. And I requested my supervisor to approve for me to go forward with it. And that changed my life in a big way, because doing that not only encouraged me to move forward in my role as a technology specialist, as a part of the STEAM project, I implemented Genius Hour, which was reverse engineering a Chromebook from my previous experience as a hardware engineer. Instead of getting the old Chromebooks as an e-waste or getting a buyback program. What I came up with a plan with the support of my supervisor is, why not use it to do a reverse engineering for a 6th grade and middle school students? Let them see what's inside, how it works, how the hardware components integrate and communicate with each other. They are always using the device. It will be good to have them see it, how it works, and let that genius hour super hit. It was like one of the best things that happened in the district, and it was in a district, right? So my school, I did it there, but then the other schools were like, when am we going to have that? But it was very specific to my specialty, and I implemented it. So it was a big thing for me doing this team leadership from KCI. Other than that, I am a Bollywood person. I'm very much into dance music. I play instruments, I sing. I also do some fashion walk and other things. I love outdoors, enjoy time with my family, love to cook food, love to paint, and a lot of other stuff. So this is all about me. I'll go ahead to the next slide. So today's goal is, again, to empower educators to harness the AI tools responsibly and effectively for enhanced teaching and learning. Okay, first, this workshop, we will introduce the concept of prompt engineering and why it matters. Anyone here could give any response to this? Have you worked with prompts? What do you think prompt engineering is? And why it matters? Yeah.
Prompts are introducing, if you're using a search engine, if you're using a database for a library, and you're looking for a book, you're looking for periodical literature on something, the prompt is going to tell you what you find, what you don't find, and how to put words together to ensure that you get it.
And you teach which grade levels?
I teach high school, but I was in a form of debate in high school that I was working to redefine periodical literature. And from then on, I've been doing research and how to figure out how to use databases to get what I'm looking for.
Okay, great. Anyone else would like to share about what information, what do you understand with prompt engineering?
If it poses a problem, that's something to solve, so there needs to be some background or some empathy.
It's just about putting your words together to get a solution to your problem. The more clarity there is in the how we put the words together,
Ask the
the
right
more
question.
accurate we get the response to it. And we can keep on modifying the response until we get what exactly we want. So it's not like I framed my question and send it to the chat GPT or Claude and it ends there. We can keep on refining our prompts and it keeps on refining the output. Yeah.
And I think about it as doing backward thinking. What do I want the end result to be? And now backward think on now what are the pieces I need and what format do I want it in?
Exactly. Yeah. So that is it. And then so we will learn about writing the effective prompts for a lesson planning. Now prompts can help you in so many ways, not only for your purpose to create a lesson plan. It can be used to even find a solution to a situation. You have a student in your class who needs some special guidance, who needs some personalized learning, for whom you might need some me time, or how to calm that student, what activities you should have for that student. You can even ask a AI tool to help you with that.
When I really had worked with prompts is when I had students, I knew an assignment I gave them to use the textbook, and I could tell they're using something else, and I played with the prompt until I found, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
And going in and showing them, yes, I know you used AI, this is how I know. But I had to play with the prompt to find.
It's all about how much you use. The more you use it, the more confidence you get into it, the more you get a hang of that.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna add, I think I read that, well, I mean, a LLM is basically just a prediction machine. So like if you want it to give you a certain output, you kind of have to figure out what is it going to, like, what are you gonna tell it to give it the thing that you want it to predict, basically? So like things like saying that tell me as if you're an expert on this or something can sometimes get better responses than just giving it a generic question.
Right, and going forward in our session, that I will introduce you to the parts of a prompt. There are separate steps and separate components of a prompt that you need to make sure you are fulfilling all those requirements. So it's just like different components of a particular product. So the same thing, you have different components of a prompt. If you specify all those components, if you enter all the information for those components, you get the best out of that particular prompt. For any AI-based tool, it can be ChatGPT, it can be Gemini, it can be Claude, any AI platforms. So understanding what grade level, what prompt engineering is and why it matters in education, effective prompt, that's what we are going to do, and learn to write effective prompts, exploring classroom applications and plan age-appropriate activities. So again, here it comes, it's not only for students, it's also for yourself. Like you would like to send an email to a parent. Now, for a particular situation for a child, you need to form your prompt in such a way that it gives you the desired output, which you can straightway put in an email for a parent. So it's not only just for getting the prompt results for students, for your lessons and resources, but also to interact with parents, interact with your supervisor, interact with the different people with whom you work with and the students. So it also helps you with that. So next, I would like, I think all of you are in one group. So if you could just turn to your partner, find some partner, share your name, grade level, and one way you currently use technology in your classroom. And then we'll try to brainstorm ideas from each of the table groups. You can just go that way. And we'll discuss. I'll give 2 minutes. You would like to join someone? Maybe you can join this table over here.
Wilson. Yeah, one of the things I actually loved about COVID is technology has always been a part of my teaching. But, and so when we hit COVID, it forced my team to embrace digitizing a lot of what we do. And it made it so more user-friendly and accessible for kids, you know, particularly when they miss instruction and stuff, you know. And to be, and for my kids who, you know, are insecure or language learners, to be able to give them materials in advance, I'm teaching so they can front load. And there's just, there was a lot of good things that came out of it, even when you threw it was a disaster.
Well, and for me, I was thinking just
We ready to share our insights?
Progression and growth, not just take something from somebody else.
It's okay. I hope you got enough time to interact with each other, introduce yourself to your partner or other people on the table, and got an opportunity to just interact regarding how you use AI in your school or anything. And if you would like to share, anybody would like to share in the group. Yes.
I actually don't use AI a lot, but I want to stay aware of it and educated on it. The curious about regarding what impact is it going to have on going back to some old school things? I was just at a seminar, a week-long seminar, and I heard teachers doing what I'm doing. More is being done in the classroom with pen or pencil and paper. As I said, I had an assignment where all they really had to do was tell me what was in the textbook, and they went to AI rather than read 3 paragraphs and figure it out for themselves. And I'm worried about bias in AI. That worry, especially since Grok just declared itself a Nazi. That's very troubling to me, and I worry about AI perpetuating biases.
What anybody would have to see. The bias. I mean, this is something that is concerning and that is there, we all know it, and even the AI companies know it. And some of them working when they are aligned towards education, specifically for education. Now we know Claude and ChatGPT are also working towards just specifying towards education, how we have Google, like Google Workspace for education. So I'm sure they must be working towards it and come up with a solution where all these issues that we're having with AI, especially when using in schools for bias and for so many different kind of issues that we have in schools. I'm sure they'll come up with some solution.
Another thing is how is AI going to impact creativity, especially in terms of human music, creating music and art, and the one that's already been established and changing it without acknowledging the authors or the copyright laws.
Right, like we have these tools like suno.com, and where you create your own music, you just put in the lyrics or some of the basic input you give, and it comes out with a brand new music for you. And I'm sure this landscape is evolving and changing every single day. But we have to adopt. It's not like going back. It definitely looks like it is something that is in and we have to adopt it. It's all about the landscape, how and in what progress we are going to adopt this entire thing. So I know for my own school, we are not comfortable letting we are until 8th grade, kinder to 8th grade. So our school is not comfortable letting the students use AI. But teachers can use, because students are under 13, and that puts a lot of risk in terms of their data, their privacy, and so many, and the learning can be impacted. But at the same time, the school may not allow, but I feel like I may not allow my own kid to, as a teacher, I may not allow, but the kid has an access to AI tool at home. They have the phone, they have the devices. It's really hard to keep them away. It's just like giving them access to internet. You cannot take them away from internet. It's more about educating them and how to make effective use of it so that it doesn't impact their learning. We cannot ask them, do not use AI. We cannot tell them, but they will not use AI. They are using more than anybody else. I think recently I was reading through some of the articles and I came across where it said like teenagers especially who are going through a lot of bullying and shaming and all those kind of stuff, they are turning to AI more than humans, more than school psychologists and more than school counselors or their own personal doctors. They are turning to AI because nobody is there to judge them. It's not a real human being. And they feel more confident in talking very clearly and opening up 100% with the AI tool and getting an output from there. And they're just following the directions from the AI. So that's where our new generation is heading. But we need to find a way how to, align it in such a way that they don't lose the confidence in human being and just turn to AI for every little thing. Right? It's a totally different landscape and things are changing in a dramatic way. And I hope we come to a solution where it doesn't go completely, you don't just depend on AI for every little thing. So anybody else, any other table would like to discuss? Yes?
So I've been researching, one of my grandparents landed at Angel Island for Chinese immigration. So I've been looking at all the artifacts, all the documents that I can find, and I'm using AI to create a poem for my nieces so that, for them, looking at these documents is meaningless. There's no value yet because they're young, 8 and 11. But if I can turn it into a poem and add some humor, then I think I can deliver something to my nieces and family history, but using AI to create a piece of writing that would capture their attention. So that's what I'm using it personally, but I think you can use it in the classroom, like looking at your history, your history, family history, and then creating poems could be difficult, for some. So using AI to just get started.
Right. Yes.
My group are already very, very versed in AI. I am the total newbie. Like I opened Gemini for the first time last night, right? because I signed up for this. So haven't used ChatGPT. My son uses Claude and he described it really well, where he does a lot of writing for his work. And he says, I only use it on topics I know well, because if you don't go cold on a topic and this gives you a good product, you really need to understand the topic and then you know how to tweak it. And that's what it seemed like when I was doing stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this gives you like a great framework right away. No, that part doesn't apply, that part does. Topics you know well, that's a great tool, but if you don't, it's not in lieu of learning.
Yeah,
It's-
you cannot
it's
blindly
jointly.
trust it with the
And you can't,
topics.
exactly.
Yeah, you have to make sure, at the end, you have to make your call.
And I think
And-
that's
and
the
the-
biggest thing
yeah.
to impart to the kids too,
Mhm.
is that,
Yeah, even in terms of lesson planning, whatever lesson you plan or resources you create from an AI tool, you have to make sure it is correct, it is genuine, it's not like, made up stuff. We do come across situations where the information is incorrect. You don't want to impart that wrong information to the students. At the end, you have to approve whatever result, the output you get from an AI tool. Anybody else would like to share any of their insight from the discussion?
I just think your point is like, for both of those examples that you two brought up, Stephanie, and I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Anyway, in the back, products, kind of like the problems, but I mean, that's the same thing as how many years ago, there were all these fake websites, and teaching the kids how to debunk it, and even like the Stanford History Project, their whole thing is like, the credibility in sources, right? And so this is the same thing. It's a different format, but it's the same thing. Like, okay, let's take it apart. Let's, and not for writing, but for the other things, if you're coming up, like with the art, Molly said, you did an art program where they did that exact thing, where you're like, what you were saying, how is it different if AI is generating the art or whatever? But that's the conversation to have, not like, don't use it.
Yeah, it's not like, we can't say don't use it. It's like
Yeah,
showing them the right way to use it. Again, for example, take an example of a cell phone. We receive so many calls. You have to decide it's a spam.
Yeah.
It's a known
Yeah.
call, which one to take, which one not to take, which text to reply, which one not to reply. Same way the spam or phishing emails that you receive. You have to educate yourself to understand, is it a phishing email? Is it a spam email? Should I click it? What should I look out for that to make sure that this link is a genuine link and it doesn't take me to a website or someplace where I end up giving all my information and
And it's
you
the
know.
same thing for your point about bias.
Yeah.
That's the lesson to have before they start using it. Let's not just start using it. Let's look at what in this return that we got from the prompt, what in that could potentially be biased or incorrect information. And those lessons, to front load those and to pick it apart, kind of like you're building the computer from
Right,
reverse
exactly.
engineering,
Mhm.
reverse engineer what's going on with AI first, and then be really strategic and let them, if you're gonna let them try stuff, try it with them in class first and do examples. And then,
Yes,
anyway,
examples. Like I think showing them examples about, okay, this is the prompt we are using. Let's see what it gives.
Yeah.
And then evaluate the result. And then you might find some examples where there are biases, there are incorrect information. And that's where when you do it with the students, they can see it right firsthand and they are able to decide like what to go for.
I've used teachable machine
Mhm.
where the students are in pairs. And
Yes.
they're supposed to show pictures
Yeah,
or gather pictures of
right.
dogs or say what's a dog, what's not a dog.
Like
and-
create a machine learning. I did that with my students. I also teach computer engineering elective, by the way, in my school as an elective. So I use teachable machine for machine learning product, where they took a lot of pictures of some stuff, and then when you run that application, you bring that product and it will tell you this is a ball or this is a pen or this is a paper or book. So it's like training your model, how you are training your model, showing it multiple pictures of the same product from all different angles. And that's where that's how the model is trained. And then when you bring the model as it is in front of the camera, it will tell you this is what the product is. So it's all about training. The teachable machine is an excellent example and it's a free tool. If you ever get a chance to try, please try.
The data to see what's asking questions.
Asking questions.
Why
It's
didn't
amazing
your
tool,
data
so.
recognize
so
that?
that's a separate tool called Teachable Machine.
Teachablemachine.com, yeah.
Okay,
and-
Google.com.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more about data modeling,
Train a
plan
computer to
creating the
recognize.
data, yeah.
So you could do it with chocolate, but I just like that they, was with fourth graders, so dogs really
Yeah.
kind of hit them, but what, the computer was confused because they didn't put a dog that was in a costume
Yeah.
or with glasses, with,
Yes.
you know,
That-
human-like
that will-
characteristics.
Until you have a real dog, you take
Yeah.
multiple pictures and upload it to teacher.
So then there's the bias or the like they didn't program it to look at dogs with
Right.
costumes on, or a cat, they could discern
Yeah.
a cat from a dog. Because it had all the features, but they didn't show that.
Yeah,
So it was a good
it's all
conversation.
about how the tool is trained, how we are training it, with what
Yeah.
kind of data we are providing to train it, and we get the output.
And using it with some things that got their interest, like candies and chocolates or ice
Mhm.
cream, and what was ice cream and not ice cream. Yeah.
So I think it's very relevant to age groups, what age group and what is they're very passionate about, and play around with it.
I tell my students, I don't poo-poo AI. I say it's a tool that they need to learn to use. But I also say that they need to be careful with it, that if they don't learn to read a textbook or read something themselves and determine what it says, then they're leaving themselves at the mercy of people to tell them what something is. And so I tell them basically, I don't want it to short circuit the development of their own critical thinkings.
And it's hardest with those groups of students, high school students, right?
And that's why I'm not even really assigning homework anymore, because I don't know that they've actually read it. I'm developing exercises where they're doing the reading in class and they're having to distill it down and determine what it is. Because of AI. So I'm not poo-pooing it. My twin uses it in business too. She needs to write a letter. She can get a good draft that she can then personalize. There's value to it. I worry about it really impacting our students, the development of their critical thinking skills, the development of their own creativity. To teach it as a tool, they are not a substitute.
Okay, so again, what is prompt engineering? As we discussed, it's the skill of crafting clear, specific instruction to get the best results. Just like I gave you an example earlier, giving directions to a substitute teacher. The clearer and more specific we are, the better results we get. And then the way you prompt an LLM also affects its output. So the words you use, the order of the words you use, very, very important. And the request, the way you make the request, all this impacts the output from an LLM. And what the right prompting leads to a better output, including priming, providing the right examples, using the right phrasing, and how you continue to prompt after the initial output. All matters for better to the point results. So always your first prompt will be very basic. It may not have all the information. You get the result. When you see the result, you come up with another set of questions to rectify, to just refine that prompt. And you keep on doing it, and the LLM keeps on refining the output till you get the desired output where you think, okay, now it has included all my queries that I wanted from a prompt and given me the right answer.
Language learning model.
Yeah, thank you.
What was it? LLM is large learning model, language model. So it's like how you talk to your ChatGPT or any AI tool. It learns your way of talking, your way of prompting. It's, you know, how you learn how everybody has a way of talking. Everybody has a style of writing an email. So that's how you are training your large language model. You're just training the model how to respond to the queries, to the prompts that you. It's right. I'm reading the slide, which is right there.
It gets to know you too. Well, it's like training your Siri or your Google or your whatever, Alexa to understand what you want.
What you want. So it's trying to understand you and your way of prompting, how you're putting your words. Just the way we write emails, everybody has their own style of writing, starting an email, ending an email, and how you put your words together. Exactly same with the prompt. So it's about training it.
I didn't realize it was doing that. My husband and I were sharing an account.
It
and
messes it up.
His was in a business model and
Right.
mine was in a learning model, but it actually kind of mixed and meshed.
It must have
So
got confused.
it was very confused.
Yes,
Yeah,
Like
until we got our
your
own accounts.
Netflix
Yeah.
accounts,
Yeah.
like.
Yes, it becomes very personalized tool, right?
Yes, it
Like,
was.
for
It is now
example,
for him.
if you're into Google, if your school is a Google school and if it allows you to integrate Gemini, a lot of schools are getting into it because Gemini is still very safe to use for teachers or students in terms of your data privacy, in terms of language, in terms of output and results. Gemini, it's Google Gemini.
I thought Google just a day or two ago announced some change about their AI tool.
No, it's Gemini that we have been, like, teachers can use. It comes with it, so your IT department has to enable it. It just doesn't come like that.
It's
Your
FOCA
IT department
compliant.
has to make it available to you in order to use it. It is there, but if it's not accessible to you, you may not be able to use it. So it all,
For us, it's accessible to teachers,
yes,
but not accessible.
not to students. Most of the schools would prefer to give access to the teachers, but not the students, because again, we don't want students to just be dependent on Gemini and, use.
And is that better to just stick with Gemini versus going to Claude or anything like that?
Yeah, ChatGPT is also a good tool for education and.
But don't use student names.
Yeah, and then, of course, Gemini. if you're
Gemini, we're
Google,
saying
it makes
you know.
sense to have that.
Yeah, they're rolling out a new model at 2.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the tools, I think they'll have new model is basically, a new version. It comes with new features, what else you can do with it. So always keep on exploring new models in order to explore the new features they offer. Now, another thing is, whenever you put up a prompt in front of any AI tool, prompts are basically made up of tokens. Tokens, what are tokens? Tokens are like words, it can be special characters, numbers. And if you are using a free version or a paid version, your limit of tokens are different. You may have limited number of tokens for free version. Your tokens limitation may be quite a large one if it is a paid product that you are trying to use. So for example, here, tokens are the building blocks of a text in LLM ranging from one character. So all this slide, everything will be shared. So don't worry about it. You'll get all the information. Ranges from one character to one word in length. Just for example, if you consider bits and bytes, right? Like in terms of computers, what is it? Your data is what in terms of bits and bytes. So every letter, every word, every sentence, it counts in terms of that. For AI, these are called tokens. So every word that you use, for example, the phrase ChatGPT is amazing. It consists of 6 tokens. Now you can see how it broke it down. Why is it ChatGPT? Because we are using these as 3 different words. Chat, G is different and PT is different. Here's a more complex example. AI is fun and challenging. Now, can you, anybody would like to explain why it is 7? Why do we count it as 7 tokens?
There's punctuation.
All the words, yes, all the words that are in quotes, each one of them is counted as one single token. Even the opening brace, the closing brace, because they are individual characters, special character, even that is counted as one token.
So on the earlier one, why is it not either GPT as 3 separate tokens or GPT as 1?
So we use chat, GPT is.
Why is that considered 2 when I could make the argument for it being 1 or 3?
Yeah, probably it is their model which goes that way. Probably ChatGPT has, so every model has their own way of defining the tokens.
So
Right?
it's not limited to
ChatGPT
2 capitals or anything.
Yeah, like ChatGPT may have a model to count a G as separate and PT as a separate one. Claude might have a different model to call,
Okay.
you
So
know,
everybody can
categorize different letters and special characters as tokens. So it can be from different LLMs, how they break it into different blocks of text to count as tokens. Yeah.
Okay, but so she asked, the opening bracket is its own token, but the closing bracket, I'm sorry,
It is,
parentheses, the
yeah.
closing parenthesis is not its own, it is put together with the exclamation point. Is that because of the spacing?
It can be because of the spacing. It can also be because of, as I said, of a different LLM. Every LLM may have its own way of counting the tokens. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and the limitation, how much tokens they offer you for free, how many times you can use in a day. If you're using a free LLM, free large language model, how much does it allow you to? After a certain time, it might pause. It may say you have reached your limit and it may not respond to you anymore. So you better say it. Okay, now we see here GP3 and the Codex model. So now For example, it shows everything. It is modeled into different colors and characters. We see that there's a sentence broken into tokens. How most words are their own token, but that sometimes names or complete words like GPT or misspelled words and punctuation are their own tokens. So again, you have to understand how different models are using that. So that's why many people go for getting a paid license, because then you have no limitation on it. If you go for free models, you are limited by the number of tokens that you're using to create your prompts.
Only if.
As a rule of thumb for expressions in English language, there are approximately 750 words per 1,000 tokens. And you have an example over here. If you would like to take a look at this example and try to see how all these are broken into different characters and formed into tokens. So it is broken down a simple sentence into different formats. And all the slides, everything will be shared, so don't have to. Okay, yeah, we went over it. It can be a word, part of a word, or even just a punctuation. Now, for example, these are the different examples that we have. Text input, hello, bang. Now, bang is also considered as one separate token. So it says 2 tokens, which is hello and a bang. I love teaching. Differential on token, 1 token. So one differentiation, so that's 1 word. That's why it's 1 token. Unbelievable. Now, unbelievable, it can be slipped. You can also call it as 1 token, but if you break the word into 2 parts, unbelievable, then it becomes a 2 token word. Okay, as we talked about it, every AI tool has its own maximum number of tokens, which it can handle per conversation for a prompt or response. And it includes the words that we type and then what reply we get from the AI. For example, GPT-4 has a limit of 128 tokens, which is very long conversation. Of course, 128 is still less. When you start typing and talking to it, you keep on doing it without realizing when you have reached the limit for tokens. 3.5 has a smaller limit. So as the new versions are coming out, their token limits are also coming out with more range where you can use more of that. So if a conversation goes over a limit, the older parts may be cut off, and that's where the problem happens. If the part is cut off, your prompt gets messed up. When the prompt gets messed up, your results will also not be to the point. So it's very important to see we are in the range of the tokens and putting a prompt within that range to get the correct response. Yeah.
Sometimes when you're chatting with it, you might upload something as well. Do they count tokens off that, or is that a different?
No, that's a different thing. Token are only simple text words that you're putting up for the
I have run into that where
Yeah.
it wasn't as effective, that I've run out of, I guess, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, are you broken?
Oh, did you run out of tokens?
I feel like on a conversation that I had run out, I was just asking it to summarize, because I didn't want the students going to a different source. So I was giving them the information about endangered species, and I had made 32 of those conversations and was refining so that it had bold words or vocabulary. And so after a while, they just started to like.
You started what's happening, it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
It's not doing what, it gave me these great examples in the beginning, but when it came to, after like 19 and 20 animals, it was like, this is terrible.
So there you go now. So tokens play, you need to know your limit, how much, where you are. And that's why I think I recommend having one AI tool as a paid subscription, because that really helps you in understanding. Because if it's free, you are limited in so many ways. You really cannot it's just to play around, it's fine. But if you really want to make use of an AI tool, it's good to have a subscription. Yeah.
And just for clarification, the approximate 128,000 token limit in the conversation, that's for 3 versions, right?
Yeah, these are for
so that's not like, even if it's, hey, one conversation, like I'm typing up my response or I'm typing my instruction or whatever, that doesn't apply to it.
No, and then with every version, as the new versions of these tools are coming out, the limit of these tokens, the limit or the features of that particular tool are also, getting better day by day. They are increasing the limits. So with every new version, you have more. accessibility to the tokens and their features, whether it is image, whether it is PDF documents or creating a video or anything. So it all counts towards that.
You said you upload something, it doesn't count as a token?
No, that uploading something is not counted as a token, it's just the text. It's just the text, but uploading is like image or creating anything, anything you create, you have to write a phrase, you have to write a prompt. Those are the tokens.
So if I upload a PDF and ask it to summarize it.
So that is why you just say like, okay, I'm uploading this document, whatever prompt you put there, those are the tokens, but the document that you upload is not a token. Yeah, so then it's working on it and then it will give you the result, whatever is a summary or whatever you want to take out of it. Now for the prompt, these are the different elements of a strong prompt, which is again like clear instruction, the context, the examples, the role of a person. The most important thing is you need to tell the AI tool, what is your role? Are you a teacher? Are you a doctor? Are you a mother? Are you a sister? Or whatever, you know, you have to tell the role. When it gets into that role, it tries to answer or give results to your prompt according to that particular persona. So we have the role, the persona, the output format, and then step by step, like if you want, you can ask it, can you give me a step-by-step instructions on how to maybe cook a meal? I have these ingredients, you know, cook a meal for me. So it will lay out all this set of instructions. Then the length and the spaces and the constraints. If you have any constraints for any of your prompts, you need to mention that. So these are the elements of a very strong prompt, which can give you the results as you would like to.
Are you going to, you're going to, good, thank you.
Yeah. We have a hands-on work things also coming up.
The definitions.
You're gonna give us a copy of this,
You will
right?
get the slides. Justin will share all of it. So 5 point for an AI prompting structure. As I mentioned, first is the persona, where you go step by step according to it. Persona is defining who you are, right? Second is context, provide the background or situation that sets up the task. Then is the task. Mention clearly about what you want the AI to do.
Context is, I'm having trouble with context. Because my training is.
It'll try and write a response.
Right. So for context, like for example, say I have a class of students, you know, maybe science students, you know, I have math students or science students or English students. That is your context.
Right? As a third grade teacher.
Yeah, like you have a parent or you have a student who is.
Yeah, you guys, you're talking is really making it hard to hear the presentation.
So context is basically you need to let the AI tool know what is your background.
I have an irate student, I have an irate parent because the child has been accused of plagiarism.
Yes. So giving a background, and we'll go over examples of all these prompts, and it will be broken down into different categories. Okay, this is the persona from the prompt, this is the context, this is the task, this is example, and this is the tone. So I have all this lined up. We'll go over this in the subsequent slides. And then task, you definitely have to mention clearly what you want the AI to do or produce for you. Example, mention what the response should include or emphasize. You can say like you need a step-by-step instruction. You can say you need a summary of it. You can say you need it in form of a slideshow presentation. You can say anything. So you have to specify what you want. And then the tone, specify the tone or style you want the AI to use in its response. You can say it has to be a friendly conversation, or it has to be, you know, whatever kind of tone you would like to set. So crafting effective prompts requires careful attention to these details, and especially when working with a large model like ChatGPT and all. So now, for example, this is a sample prompt. Now, you're a teacher with over 10 years of experience in guiding middle school students through their final year of studies. The students are currently preparing for the final exams in mathematics. Write a 200-word message to the students offering motivational support, reminding them of the key study strategies they can use in the final weeks leading up to the exam. The message should include encouragement, actionable advice, and a sense of urgency, but maintain a calm and reassuring tone. from this prompt, and if you compare with the previous slide where we had all the structure of a prompt, how many things can you relate is there in this prompt? Do you think we have met all the requirements to frame a particular prompt?
Can we have a list of those?
Yes,
I
I can go back to this.
So we
Yes.
can quickly write them down.
Or you can take down a note of all this if you have a sheet of paper or a laptop of anywhere. And I can keep the sample prompt there, and I would like all of you to write what persona, what context, what task, what example, what tone does it have in that particular sample prompt. So maybe all can write down somewhere the persona, context, task, example, and tone, and then I'll put up the sample prompt. And we'll extract from that prompt the different parts of this structure. These are the key elements to keep in mind whenever you frame a prompt on an AI tool.
When you write all of those prompts, you write it.
Yeah, I'll put up the next screen if you're done with this.
No, I have a question. You write them all in one sentence or in sentences, or there's like
Yeah, so
area?
you, from that prompt, you can extract, what is the persona, what is the context, and just write
Right.
that particular part. Should I move to the next slide for the example
I
prompt?
think his question was if, when we're trying to create that prompt, do we put that in there all as one sentence?
Yes, one sentence, like from that prompt, what is the persona? You need to write down what is the persona from that prompt, what is the context of it, for example, this prompt.
So like I'm a teacher.
Yes, that's the persona,
and I'm
that's the,
talking to
yes.
students.
Yeah. So from this prompt, you need to pick all those components and categorize in the different elements of the AI prompting structure. Yeah, different sentences which you think pertains to those elements.
The exercise is to identify these in
Yes,
there,
exactly.
not to write a prompt.
Not to write a prompt, it's to identify from this prompt those different structure and just mention those statements, like you're a teacher, that's a persona.
Yeah.
Right? What's the tone? Maintain a calm tone. So that's what you have to pick from this prompt and let's timer. Hey, I'm ready. Okay, let's see. So persona, how many of you agree that the persona is a teacher?
Middle school.
Middle school teacher, again, teacher is very important. Okay, context, who would like to answer that? End of year exam format. Let's see, maybe different people have different perspective for the context.
Finals.
Finals.
Year-end finals.
How about task? What was the task?
200 word message. 200 word minutes motivational support.
Okay, examples, do you have examples there?
That's where I got.
Reminders of key study strategies.
Pardon?
Reminders of key study
Reminder of
strategies.
key study strategies, yeah, that was kind of a, example, you can say, instance.
Now, but what if there are specific strategies I use that semester or that year? Would I then upload a document of them? Because I don't want them pulling out just any key strategies. I
Yeah,
want them
if-
doing the ones I cover.
Yeah, so if you want the strategy to follow just exactly the way you want it, you can say, you're uploading this document and please align to the document that I've uploaded. So when you say that, it takes that into consideration that you want it to follow that document, and with respect to that document, you want that to be, in your output. How about the tone?
Encouraging, actionable, urgent, but common, reassuring.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think there were multiple tones, right? You said, what was it?
Encouraging, actionable, urgent, but common, reassuring.
Anything else?
It covered the
I think I
gamut.
saw there was a calm tone too. We talked about maintaining a calm tone, not.
But the urgent, that calm.
It was a dichotomy there.
Yeah.
Dichotomy, conflict, paradox, yes.
Okay, so it does look like, so you all were able to break it down into different categories of the prompt from that particular sample. Oh, I see.
Well, I think we wanted it closed because
Yeah, there's a lot of.
A little bit more about the example.
So example, I think in the sample prompt, what was example? One of you mentioned, right, from the sample prompt?
It's key study strategy.
Key strategies, right? But it depends on you, like what your prompt is. If you have an example, you can give. If not, you can do it without an example, and then you see what kind of result you are getting, and then you can refine it further. Maybe add an example. For example, can you add this to the prompt? Follow this example and do it. So you can add it that way. Any other questions?
Yes, do you save some prompts or like create a library or something, so you're not, if there's something you want to end up doing over and over again?
Yeah, so it stores the history. It stores your prompt history. If you want, you can go back to the previous prompt and, get it back again and refine it or modify it and get the new results. It does keep the history of the prompt, so it follows. Yeah. And remove the history. If you don't want, you can remove the history too. So, but it does keep on accumulating your history. So that's how it trains the model, right? The large language model gets trained according to what kind of prompts you are putting.
That's what I ran into, because I asked it to do something I'd already done, to create a quiz based on a particular set of standards, and it said it couldn't do it. And so I chopped with it for a while, because this is on a district, so it's not training the model. So I asked it, what's going on? It said, I'm not remembering that. I put the word remember in quotes, but, so yeah, I had to go back into an old chat. It was telling me, I'm not gonna remember this, what we've just done, if you open a new.
It is from the district, you said it's centrally run by the district. So when that is the case, probably it is set up in such a way, because multiple people are using it. It's set up in such a way that it's not storing your history and not training itself according to just your prompts. If multiple people are using it.
Which model?
I still have the list.
Mhm.
But just instead of opening a new chat, it was telling me, if you want me to remember that I need to format and do this according to particular standards, go back to that.
Oh, I see. So again, I think it's a setup process where how the IT department has set up. where you, if you want to do that, maybe reach out to your IT department, ask if they can enable that. Because again, when you buy it for a district, which is large, used by different number of people, there has to be some settings and setup in place, which will, you can customize your AI tool accordingly to be used.
Which language model are you using?
Gemini. Gem, like your small tokens.
It's like basically you put all the instructions, things that you wanted to remember, and then every time you just use that gem, you can talk to.
Custom GPT, like how you have in chat.
Yeah, but that's what Gemini calls it. But they call it a gem. You put all your instructions in it, put all your materials in it, and then you just always go there. It will remember everything in there. It's already set, so you only have to set it up once.
It's like having your own personal assistant. For example, in chat GPT, you can create your custom GPT, which is just for different purposes, you can create your, but that's a different line of study altogether. We are not going that side. If I go that side, that will become another 5-hour session. It's a very huge, eco space to continue. The prompt engineering is a very basic level of getting started with AI. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so was it clear to everyone regarding from this sample prompt and picking up all the different personas and the different elements of a prompt that we should have whenever we try to create one? Now, great AI prompts for the K-8 teachers. I have entered here a few categories of prompts. It has lesson planning, it has these are the different examples: differentiated instruction, classroom management, social emotional. So if you have access to, because I think requirement was that you should have access to some AI tool, ChatGPT or whatever you're using. I would like you to play around with these prompts and see what answer you get, what results you get, and then as a team on your table, try to see if one is using ChatGPT, other is using Claude, third one is using Gemini. Try to see how your prompts are responding to those. What kind of results you are getting. If you have different, or maybe you can sit, how many of you have ChatGPT access? How many of you have Gemini access? Maybe I would say mix and match, just to see what results you get. Some of you can, with ChatGPT and Gemini, can sit in one table, mix and match, have a mix and match of both. So this table has all ChatGPT users.
I just have Gemini.
You have Gemini and two ChatGPT, so I think this table is good. You guys can play around with it and see how the prompts are different. How about this table here?
I used both.
You use both, so let me pick one. And which one will you use? ChatGPT. Both two. So maybe you can divide, like, two of you can use Gemini, one can use ChatGPT. And I would like you to start playing around from the first prompt. Put all the prompts and see results, how you're getting. Would you like to join here or here? Okay, so you have different like ChatGPT and Gemini. Okay, so then you can pair up with someone and see how.
I have WhatsApp.
No, that's fine. You can try. But you can check with them how it is going. How would you have?
No, I have one. It's just, I have security because I'm on my private account on my district machine. And so it's wanting a code.
Do you use any other, how about you?
I did a long
How about you, Stacy?
Yeah,
I can chat GPT and then link it to whatever
So you
email
have a
address
lot
you want to
of
do. I suggest set it up in a private one.
That one is like specific.
That's how about here? Do you have
Right now, forever, I'm just getting stuff from Justin and my from 20 minutes ago.
That is good, you don't want that, because that is like, that is, if I go this, then we go to magic school and we have so many other ones.
I know, I know.
Oh, very typical.
So I asked a lot.
Yeah, question.
And then I asked.
Our assistant to use those.
Okay, so maybe alternate ones.
This question?
Stacy, if you would like to join one of the groups.
Are you asking me that question?
Nice to get some feedback from you regarding the different prompts that we put up there for different categories. How did you find it different in terms of ChatGPT and Gemini? How different was it, or which one would you prefer if given a chance? Yeah.
I tried the prompt, let me see. About your third grade art teacher. Create a 30-minute lesson that combine AI generated art and color theory. So I did it both with Gemini and ChatGPT. They gave me fairly similar, the two lessons are fairly similar. But the next thing I did was I asked them to generate an image.
Oh, cool.
Gemini it gave me the image almost instantaneously, but my free ChatGPT login is still.
Oh, it's free, that's what.
So yeah, for me, I am more inclined to use Gemini because my school has it.
Yeah, if your school is offering Gemini, definitely go for it because it's from a school district, probably you're a rural school, so it's definitely make complete sense. But if not, and if you're using ChatGPT, I think go for it. Claude is not that much focused towards education. It will give response to your prompt, but it may not be to the point that you would like it to, give you the response, give you the output. So ChatGPT and Gemini definitely first preference Gemini, second ChatGPT. Go for it. Any very critical response that you saw in terms of all these different prompts from different LLMs? Anything that really stood out was very different? Yeah.
So I tried Meta AI.
Oh, Meta, he tried Meta AI on his phone probably, and that was like.
And when I looked at Gemini, it was actually much more detailed. It was longer.
Gemini or Meta?
Gemini.
Okay.
And actually had more details on the
Focus
advanced.
towards education, towards
Correct,
what you're.
correct. So the advanced, when it was like, give me free lessons,
Right.
like, like beginner,
Intermediate.
intermediate and advanced. On the advanced, you can
Right.
see the difference.
Oh, I
So-
see. Okay, that's good to know. So there you go again, another comes up for Gemini.
Yeah.
It does respond to the different levels of complexities from basic to advanced to intermediate to whatever level.
And more
it is.
details than the
And more
Meta AI.
details. So, yeah.
So I could put in use Bloom's taxonomy and say which level of Bloom's taxonomy I want to. Would that be possible?
You can try, give it a try and see. Anything that you feel isn't what, give it a try. Just put it up, put the prompt up in ChatGPT or Gemini, say which one gives you the most accurate response, or which one caters to the response that you want. It's more about what you want.
I actually put in a request for an activity I already do, which is create a religion and to help them understand religion. I like some things it added, but it also added, and I thought this was great, optional twist, if time allows, have each group pitch their religion to the class as if trying to gain new followers. The class can then.
Literally give it a pitching of.
For new followers.
Last year I had Cane's chicken, and I had ICEA bowls. My favorite was pedology from the Hunger Games. Zach Bryan was another religion. It was really fun watching what they did. But just putting an activity I do, it added something to it that I hadn't thought.
Anything else from this table or each table? I would like to get some feedback on what we worked on in these prompts.
I kind of started doing other prompts just because I'm trying to see what it can do, especially if you give it like specific standards or like, and then ask it to create activities or units aligned with the standards. And so far I've only tried it with ChatGPT, but it did give me some pretty helpful ideas. It was sort of a little bit more of a like generic that you would have to kind of fill in and flesh out yourself, but it was helpful. And now I'm trying Gemini and I'm not really sure what it's doing. It went into research mode. I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, we did the first, the
Okay, Gemini and ChatGPT.
Gemini was more creative.
Do you have that up?
The ChatGPT, yeah, I have the ChatGPT. I'm like,
But there are some AI tools like Brisk and Magic School and so many other which are focused just for education, where you can specify the California state standards or any state standards and your, whatever is your, grade level, which high school, which topic, all that, and it gives very, very close to that. The response comes very, very close to that, but that's not a typical LLM. These are like just specific tools for EdTech, not for any other thing. So that's another tool to try, but when you're trying in ChatGPT and Gemini, it's for all kind of scenarios, not just for education. It can be for anything, right? So anything up from this table? Like to share.
We both compared Claude and Gemini, same prompt.
That's great. Did you guys try like parent communication or social emotional learning, other than just the lesson plans and teacher resources? Did anybody try any of those prompts? Yeah.
Wow, I created my own prompt, I'm sorry.
Okay. But what was the theme like?
Okay, so I'm a high school chemistry teacher and I want my students to watch Aaron Brockovich, which has like the worst language as possible. So I would like to get parents, okay, because they're 15 but not 16, and so they're not quite to 17 yet.
Yeah.
And so I did a prompt with ChatGPT.
Did you try to put the prompt in such a way that you had all the components of the prompt buildup, like persona, tone, everything?
Right, so I had, who I was, and wanted to write an email to the parents about the movie and about what the real effect of chromium was on the groundwater, and but the movie's got lost for a minute. And but it's also got a really good example of inappropriate language used in a court situation. And I always stop it. We talk about inappropriate language and why you don't use it, like we don't use it in the classroom. But it's really good to show the knowledge of chemistry, its effect on the body, and how you can use that to fight back. Right? So, and it's such a well-known movie that they were pulling out facts about the movie from its database.
Wow.
And it was
And this is ChatGPT, right?
ChatGPT, yeah, and it did a very nice job, including frequent profound profanity, the F word, the A whole example.
So you can easily ask it, refine it, say, please remove these words, or the inappropriate words, can you refine it to a more simple language tone for 16-year-olds or 18-year-olds?
And it actually did put in the references of where they picked up some of this information as well.
Okay, like sources, whatever sources it used to grab the information from.
And then next steps and basically reply by and everything. So yeah, it's a very nice start.
So when you get a prompt, respond to a prompt, have you tried refining the prompt? Once you see the prompt, have you tried, like, once you see the result, you will be like, oh, I don't want this language. I don't want this tone. I don't want this part of it. Have you tried to rectify the prompt and say, can you please remove these parts? Can you please replace these words with this? Have you tried that and seen what it comes up with? How the entire response? So you should give it a try and see how it refines your entire response. It will take away all those things that you don't want and give you exactly what.
I like to use clear, concise a lot.
Yes.
Or if it's for parents, sometimes it's like at a, 5th grade level.
Yes, that's why I think it's very important to say that I am a middle school teacher or I'm a high school teacher teaching this grade. The moment you specify the grade and what subject you teach, it will start thinking in that level. If you say, I'm a teacher teaching math, what level math, what topic math, which standard are you teaching? It doesn't know any of this, and it will give you a very generic answer. And we'll go over some more examples where it talks about what is a bad prompt or what is not a right prompt. If you want the right answer, you need to give the right prompt. So it categorizes what is a right prompt, what is not a correct prompt, and how to fix it. So great, do you think this exercise helped you in a little bit trying different LLMs and see how they were different? Even though your prompt is the same, but the different LLMs, it's all because how you have trained your model. It's all about that. Okay, so moving forward. So here's the breakdown. That was from the, I think, the previous slide that we did, the example that we had. And here, this is what it, I think all of you did that example, right? The sample prompt, and I asked you to break it down into the different elements of a prompt. Now, demo with Claude. Now, Claude, who is using, I think one person is using Claude, right? So example of a bad prompt, help me teach math. Now, help me teach math, what math, what topic, which grade level. So many things are missing from here. And then example of a good prompt is create a fifth in the same prompt. It has been transformed to another prompt which gives so many details, like you want how much time, 15 minutes, you want 30 minutes, you want 5 minutes. You're giving your time, math warm-up activity, right? For fourth graders, focusing on multiplication facts 6 to 9 using a sports theme. Just compare the bad prompt to a good prompt. Huge ton of difference. So many information in a good prompt, and the moment you give that prompt, you can try to test it out and see on Claude has any other, I think only one or two people are using Claude. So you can try testing on Claude. Claude is somehow not, I wouldn't recommend very much for education part because again, as I said, it's not very much aligned to the education ecospace, but ChatGPT Gemini, try to use it with them and see what kind of response it gives you. So whenever you get a chance, please try to play around with that, with these two prompts. Give the first prompt and then give the second prompt and see the huge difference there.
And what is it? What is Claude focused on?
So Claude is for all
Business
different
or
purposes.
just
Yes,
everything else?
businesses, corporate, you can create a lot of automation tasks. Claude helps in creating a lot of automation tasks. So the IT departments, a lot of, payroll department, all different categories. I mean, it will respond. It will not say, I will not do it for you, but you will not be happy with the response. It won't be to the point that you are actually looking for as an educator.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It will not say, I want, it doesn't give you a response. It will give you, but it may not be to the point. Okay, hands-on exploration prompt makeover. So here is a sheet. It's a link. So if you will click on this link, all of you have access to the slide. If you could go to that slide and click on that link.
It needs to be shared.
Is it not shared?
It just, I got it, but it's only as a PDF.
Yeah.
Mine says request access.
Yours?
Yeah.
Anybody else having? Oh, because of this. Okay, I'll make sure that I'll fix it later. So, but I'm putting it up on the screen here. So ask AI for a science question, your makeover notes. Now for science, ask AI for a science question for fourth graders. And then this is what you have to, and use ChatGPT to do it. And then this is what you have to take notes on. Persona is a curious science teacher who makes lessons fun. So every teacher has a way of teaching, right? Some teachers want it hands-on, some teachers want it like a class activity, some teachers might want it as a fun time, activity. So it specifies the persona so clearly. And then the context, students are learning about ecosystems, tasks. So I would recommend if all of you could do this one by one. And then I will follow up with it and how many are there? Let me check how many, because we are also short on time. These are the different worksheets, different prompts. Yeah, that's not much. How about I gave around 5 minutes? Is that good enough to try these prompts with these personas? So that's the persona. You have to create your prompt with those elements.
Okay, is this in that link? Here's the link to prompt makeover worksheet.
Are you able to access that link? I don't think so, right? That's why I have put this page over here, but I'll share that link. I think the link is not shared.
So that's what it long, so it take longer to type it in. So we can't access those.
Can you just click on share and just update it?
No, because my screens are different, it might be. No, I don't have to make it restricted. Let me see if I can just,
Yeah.
anyone with the link, if it saves it and.
In the
Can you try it again and see?
I got it.
I don't have this.
Are you able to get it now? Just click on that and
You should
then
have gotten an email on Monday saying the
It's in the
things coming
folder.
up, all of your files will be found here.
I have that, I've clicked that, and it's not
Okay,
coming
and
to.
then you
it
go
will
to
come
the
down now
teaching,
because I think the
the
list.
one that starts with teaching. And then there should be things in there, so go to the folder that says teaching with AI.
It's on
Where's your
slide 26.
No, she's looking at the drive, yeah, the teaching.
This one?
No, this. This is this one. Go on, which slide is this?
26.
Okay, I'll give 5 minutes time, so you need to make, create a prompt with all those elements. We have 5 prompts, and if you could test it and see how it gives, what kind of response it gives to you.
Go into the KCI folder.
And at the end, I would like feedback from each of the groups
Yeah.
regarding how you think this prompt will improve student engagement and learning.
Yeah, so go where it says here,
Then you put up this prompt, how you
just
think it will
search
help
Justin.
students.
and then in his most recent message here, it says here. Yeah, July 15th. There's 2 here, sorry, the first here. For July 15th. That's what I have here.
Or maybe you can also do in groups, because there are 3 or 4 maybe different people can try different ones and test it.
Science. Yes, that same thing I have. So it's Tracy Bombers.
Are we doing all of them or just pick one?
You can divide into, some of you can do one and the other person can do another one. Yeah, or you can, yeah.
Okay, so it's this one, you're asking us to do, so I just this information.
Yes, I'm a curious food, that's what exactly I was doing. Yeah, and see how it gives you, that you have all these components of your prompt, what kind of result it gives for the different.
Which
prompts.
did you use Gemini?
Yeah.
I'm curious what it gave you.
So you're basically
I'm just gonna try to get
combining
all
all the
of them
elements and creating like building your prompt.
Joyta?
That's what it said, ask AI for a science question for fourth graders. Now I'm supposed to
So
prompt
it
it.
asked me this question down here, how do I say yes?
Would like to
Do I copy?
say yes, please do. Just
Oh,
tell it as you do. Yes,
okay.
please do.
Okay, there.
There you go.
No, that's giving me the last sentence. Is it going to?
Got it. What did it ask you?
So I wanted.
Type doesn't fit. Yes. Sent to the wrong email.
Okay.
Curious science junior. Lessons, okay.
Oh, yes, there. They're printable. Those are
Yeah,
that
yeah,
card.
yeah. So here you can download it as a PDF or upload it or share it, all the different.
Okay,
whatever you
here's
would
the
like to do.
printable
Yes.
one. Okay.
AI. Back to school.
How is the prompt coming over with all the?
To list these
When
white.
you're combining.
Oh, yeah. We need to ask him to put the date on the front of these folders, so that they're in chronological order. Reimagining AI? Reimagining AI. Is that right?
Okay, time is up. So, how was the prompt? How did you find building the prompt from all those elements? Those elements were given to you and you had to combine it all together and create a prompt. We are reaching towards the end of our session, and how do you feel about creating a prompt with those different parts of the elements?
I feel good about it.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you. Okay. Anything anybody would like to share from those prompts that you tried? Do you think you find any difference compared to how you have been giving prompt? And when you give the prompt now, did you find any difference, any change in the quality of the response? When you're putting all these pieces together from the previous times when you used the prompt earlier and when you're using the prompt now. It's very simple, it's like a 4th grade teacher or a 5th grade teacher for different subjects.
Yeah, I think it's very helpful for short tasks. And say complete, if you have all those
Elements, and so
Yeah,
it's
like the whole thing rather than stuff that's missing.
yeah, it's just like building blocks. If you
Yeah.
put all the building blocks together, you get the final output, which is exactly what you want. You get the correct response. Okay, so we are done with this activity. Then we have how ChatGPT works. As we talked about it, it is like advanced text prediction. Many times, based on your previous prompts, it knows what will be your next prompt or who you are and what kind of answer you expect from that particular element. So it monitors your patterns. There may be times you are not only just asking it about your educational needs, you may end up prompting it for your own personal needs, right? So as a person, as a LLM, it also tries to understand you as a personality. What is your personality like?
Question.
Right? For a teacher or as a human.
So I was doing the science lesson prompt and, I just put in the generic and I get a generic, blurb. When I go in, I put in the prompt stuff, then all of a sudden my lesson plan is stuffed full of emojis.
Okay.
You can
ask, please remove emoji. I don't want emoji. Just tell it, remove emoji. And
Which AI are you using?
That was
That's
ChatGPT.
it. And is that the ecosystem one?
Yeah.
Cause I did it on Gemini.
Yeah,
it's different.
mine's full of emojis now.
So you can easily just refine it.
Huh?
This one was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Gemini.
the lesson's not bad. It's just, it has lots
Very
of-
flowery and very,
Yes, no, you did.
yeah, you can always refine it. Just tell it, please remove the emojis and all the flowery words and all the, make it more consistent
Concise.
and, how you want it, what kind of language you want it.
So let's say I went to the, find it, so I asked it to remove or add some things.
Yeah.
How can I later on, because it was like multiple refinements, how later on I can include all of these with different subjects?
So that is an automation, that becomes automation. So then you go to Claude and then you have to tell them.
So I need to use Claude.
Yes,
See, I
so
actually,
then
I
like
forgot
ChatGPT will just remember, so if multiple times if you tell ChatGPT, do not use emojis.
Like,
do
oh,
not
it's not
use
bad.
words.
It's got tips for
It
writing.
will remember that, and it
You know,
will
use
try
book
that in the
and
next
like, oh, actually,
response,
this
it
is
will try to
pretty-
keep that
This
in
is
mind.
not bad
And
at
you will
all.
see
Go
gradually over
back and
time,
refine
you will
it.
see less
Yeah, I'll be
emojis.
more specific.
Yes, you will see less emojis,
Yeah,
less flowery
I
words, so it's
specifically
time
put for
adaptation
examples
to
such as forests and deserts, and I'm wondering if I take that out and just leave
Yeah.
ecosystems
You might
or do
put it-
something
Yeah.
Okay,
besides.
so,
Just to sort of.
let's go to the next one, again, AI prompting in action, use case for educators. I think this one was, let's see what it is. It is again a hands-on activity. It says, please do it in pairs, we'll forget about that, and then use case. Again, I have another set of use case. This is all because I want to do it in the session, so that you see what exactly you are experiencing, and then we can collaborate with each other and see how it is going. Let's work on this one, use case, different prompt example. You are a middle school teacher planning a lesson on ecosystem. This class is a mix of abilities, right? Try to give this prompt and see what it gives you. This is the exact one. You can copy paste too from the link that is shared over there and see how it gives you. Maybe do it in pairs, not as single people, but maybe just join together and just complete each prompt.
Yeah, this is the next one.
Yeah, but I don't have the, I think so.
This,
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
have,
differentiate with varying students.
and then we have differentiated, different categories are there.
So
Yeah, please refer, try to access the sheet. You should have access to that, the link which is shared over there.
Which one is this?
It is in this slide. It
Just
is, which
differentiate.
slide number is this?
Oh, here it is, yeah.
So it seems like.
Yeah.
AI prompting in action. So click on that link and it will take you to the hands-on activity.
I have to keep going back between the different slides.
But are we
This is a different.
differentiating the
So
lesson?
you can
just
pick
for-
one prompt from each category and try to just put it in the LLM and see what response it gives to you. It's a long one.
It's honestly, it's not that we're so much training the computer, we're training ourselves.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, once you get in the habit of.
Yes, it's about habit of creating
It's
the
like
prompt.
writing a SMART goal.
Yeah.
You know, like.
The more you do it, you get used to it,
No,
right?
but like that whole SMART goal, where it's just, it has this and this and this.
Yes, yeah,
element.
yeah.
Once we have that.
Yeah, it's about
Versus
practice.
just the goal.
So anytime you create a prompt after this session, you'll keep this in mind. You are like so tuned with it, like, you need to have these elements.
Yeah, that's right. ChatGPT is nothing but.
Okay, so we're supposed to copy this prompt example.
You can copy the entire prompt, you don't have to type it. Because here we are trying to see how it gives you the response.
How much am I doing? Oh, okay, these are each individual. Oh, oh, no, that's it, I just did.
A chapter of the science.
Oh, she wants us to just use her wording now. Okay.
So here it looks
I
like
think
it's a
what
very
you're saying
big
is like a lesson on
right?
that,
You
and
very
just type it and
response.
differentiate.
Okay, so when we put a prompt, sometimes you see it gives you a response which is like huge list of information, multiple pages. If you get a result which is like a very long page of response and you want just a small paragraph, try to define the prompt saying, can you reduce it in the form of a small paragraph? Can you summarize it into 10 lines or into 500 words? Or just try to do that and see what it comes up with. Try to define your prompt and see what it comes up with after you see that your results are like, 5 pages long. You don't want the 5-page long results. You can always tweak around with it, always play around. If you don't like a big response, make it short. You can also say, can you create it like a slideshow? Can you create it like a slideshow presentation for that particular prompt?
My sister had a meltdown. She's apologizing for her meltdown.
Congratulations, you're human.
Well, she was spiraling out of control and she called me and needed me to talk her down because they're making decisions by a second house and I basically talked her out of it. That's hard. Yeah.
Created like a slideshow.
That's right. If you're this upset about it, it's not.
I haven't tried it in the past, not like I just asked them. Slideshow. Said,
It's adding so much stress to your
It's
life.
not the right
Is it
thing.
It's like stress to your life, and how stress is not something that goes away.
Well, she doesn't want to leave her.
Did you try ChatGPT? Because ChatGPT will say, okay, I can create a good slide for you. And I will relate it in the form of a slide. You can just, if it is from the school, it is the last thing for yeah, so that depends with which login, how you have logged in. Student's account.
Yes.
But if it's a personal account,
Yes, you can go back.
You have so much more flexibility.
if you are using school account, then there might be restrictions and you might have to allow.
This is
Yeah.
what I got.
And so I am very
specific. Okay, now turn it into a slideshow.
They're only for school purpose, not for educators. But Gemini chat is like large language.
Okay, so when you're doing this. So, when you're, so let's say you're
PowerPoint presentation, you said,
because.
Yeah, did you create? So it depends
no,
on.
not with my free, I'm curious, because I only have a free chat.
Oh, I see.
Can
Okay.
can you show us how to do it?
I can try, let me see, actually.
But so I would just do it and not worry about.
But my school district has gotten, it's getting very controlling about what we're teaching, just writing all of our stuff for us.
Subject science, middle school.
They
cycles.
yeah, well, so they want us focusing on, inquiry with kids, and digging deeper into what they need. But so they're providing us very scaffolded
Okay, there you go.
over our.
You see there, it's creating for, I said, I need 5 slides for AI for educators. So it gave me the content, slide 1. Yeah, so it gave me the content. Yeah, it doesn't create like slide. But within the content, copy the whole thing, put it in the slide, organize it, but still.
Individual instruction.
It has this whole
Instruction. One on Gemini, created slideshow for hers.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't really use Gemini that much.
Oh, what's it?
You can always.
No, I think
The thing is, that's the big thing.
yeah, even in the coding. Yeah,
Because they still want us to teach a full curriculum, plus they want us to do all this individualized.
And then
small.
tier.
I'm curious if there were like pictures on a team, but
yeah, this is not. Yeah, so you can say, then, no, how many slides do you have?
So evening intervention.
And you're supposed to have a plan.
Is light wise,
Every below grade level, so you're supposed to have an individual plan for them, how you're gonna pull them up, you know, and you're supposed to have. And you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have an agreement to just for myself, how you're going to hit that kid on their goals and their needs, you know, 5 times a week, you know.
Don't tell the number of slides, it just gives
You can't do that.
So the more you can use it.
I think
The more it's just, you're lucky enough to just.
it's hard for me.
Has anybody tried creating a slide or a presentation from the prompts?
Yeah, it is.
80% of them came in.
Has anybody tried any slides on the presentation? Yeah, no, there I showed them, I tried some of the slides.
I couldn't make groups because their needs were so unique. I had to work on with them a lot of one-on-one.
And with third grade,
That's
gaps they
The only
have.
thing is, it was supposed to give a visual aid and instead it just told them to draw the story.
So instead of second grade. That's
What are you
I'm
doing?
Is it helpful to see how the slides was created? Just have to copy and paste in those. Like, you just have to tell them in 5 slides, 10 slides, break down your content.
And we're like at 30
And what did that do for everything else you have to get
This
through?
is way more in depth than what ChatGPT did, so I like give the exact same prompt. And this is cool where it like pulled out specific, this was the first time on standard story.
What did you guys create?
This one was like really specific.
I am ready
That's a whole
to
nother.
try maybe like, from the same prompt, generate a 5 slide and see how it breaks it down into the different slide categories. Have you guys tried the slide creation of the prompts? Give it a try. Try to refine your output and say, can you create it into a 5 slide presentation? And then you
The
see.
one that we just did
Yeah.
on
Just,
ecosystems?
yeah, just try that and see how it creates a, but you have to mention the number of slides. When you say the number of slides, it breaks it down accordingly. And it will put the stuff like in slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. And
So then it gave me like this
Okay.
crazy long explanation.
And then it
of, like,
automatically
here's
said that's
how
student friendly, designed for 4th graders, that's what they added to it.
Oh, I see.
Does
So
it-
so I can copy and paste that on the
Yes,
slides.
on the slides. So it breaks it down into, individual slides. So it's important to say, no, don't just say.
It made a table for me.
Yeah. So don't just say create a presentation or create a summary. If you specify the number, it.
Okay,
just
that's my
makes it-
Gemma, thank you.
Gemma, you got it.
You gave me a gem.
access to whatever. So I did that and then.
I can tell it to make my slides for me.
And I'm putting in my images.
Okay, if we are done with it, I have some resources and tools in the slide, which is like popular AI tools that
Copy
is
that and
used
jump
by
it on
the
the slide.
educators.
It's telling you what to put on slide
And I think
one.
some of you already use
It's telling you what to put on
Cutie
slide, so
pod,
it's all laid
Max.
out, you just copy paste it onto a slide.
I still have to find the image of this, that's when it comes with that.
So it
I thought it would actually make it just nice.
Right.
Okay, I'm just, I will know, because it's different programs.
Slides of two.
Oh, this is ChatGPT, I'm sorry.
So.
Okay, but Gemini,
Oh, wait,
oh,
fine,
no,
so I'm
let me
gonna
try
say,
Gemini.
I'm gonna say find
So.
and appropriate.
No, it will not fit in the slide. So for example, when I created one with the slide one, it says
With
slide
Gemini,
one.
it's connected to the whole suite, so let me see if
Then
it will do
slide
that.
2, these are the
Okay.
things. So what you do is copy,
Create.
yeah, copy from slide 1 and paste it in.
5 slide.
So I'll show you, like, for example, we had, I'll show you the one that I created here.
Here are 5 child-friendly engaging images to go along with your slides. Love it.
So for example, in this ChatGPT, see, I just put the prompt, right, create a 5 slide outline for AI for educators. What it did is outline, instead of putting in complete information like that, it broke it down into individual slides. Now I can copy everything from slide 1 over here and put it in my Google slide in the first slide.
stuff
then
like
copy
on
everything
Google
from
Form,
slide
just
two and put it
as
in
their
slide two.
knowledge
So it
vocabulary.
broke it
So
down
that's
in
for
like
our-
outline.
Based on the results of the pretest, I would say like
And do, so you can say convert it into a slide.
So then I
yeah.
I feel like it would be ideal, but it's a little too ambitious, like for every student, but maybe for like
I go and reduce it
like
because
high
otherwise
middle.
It's a,
Yeah. So
So try
I
it
don't
in
know,
the
I
phone
kind of wanna.
because it's on the
Okay,
phone and
Like,
meta, we don't use on laptop mostly, right? So
it
try
would have to be
chat
like.
GPT or
Okay,
some
here we go.
chat.
Hello, amazing
Yeah,
fourth
yeah.
graders. Here's your
And,
mission.
but specify it, if it
Oh,
is
that's
a lot,
kinda
you
good.
tell it, I don't want so much information.
I mean,
Have
Can
you-
become an explorer.
Yeah, just continue to say, make it in 5 lines, or make it in bulleted points, you know, how you want it, and it will keep on. Yes, yes, yes. You have to keep on telling
Yeah.
it, fix it, change it, revise it, and you will see how it keeps on.
Okay, I have an gem.
Oh, cool, you got it?
So, okay, I love the piece about about it organizing my slide information for me. But then I asked it to search for an appropriate image to go on each slide.
Oh, wow.
And it gave me images I can use.
Awesome, okay.
Which
That's
showing the
good. It's in
different
Gemini?
This was in ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, okay. Very good. This is all about just playing around with it, right?
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Comparison chart, desert image,
I'm wondering if
forest
it'll give me a
image.
presentation.
No, so you are in the coding part.
I'm in the coding part,
Yeah,
so.
just go to the preview, click on the code and come out of it. It's still working. Now go to
Oh, there we
preview.
go.
Oh, wow, look at that.
this. Here we go, here we go.
This is in which one, in Gemini?
Gemini, because Gemini is linked to the whole suite.
Yeah.
So they have a thing, but let's see,
This is pretty good.
looks like they have 5 for each. Looks like I got a 5 for each, let me see.
You ever had to
But
like in context or something?
That's a good idea.
Okay,
no, it's like, ecosystem, there's an ecosystem,
Yeah, there's just one.
ecosystem example.
Just the ego.
Yeah.
oh, then let me just start. I just have one.
They'll be like.
Okay, I have just a couple of slides to wrap up, and if I could have your attention, please. This is one of the slides where I have put all the information regarding the different tools specific to education. I know some of you are already using some of it like Curipod, DFED, Magic School, and there are some more which is specific to education, not in general for your AI purpose. Goblin, brisk teaching, read and write. So please try these as you get chance because this is very specific to education workspace. And I have some useful links mentioned over here only for the prompting. So you have some links for prompt library, 2 parts to prompting, prompt for instructors, prompt library for K-8 educators. So please try to find some time and explore these links. Very helpful, very resourceful, and I'm sure it will be of some help to you. So with this, I would like to end the session and thank you so much. Yes.
Okay, found the images, now I'm gonna ask
So
it
how do I find Gemini?
to add one of these images to each of my slides. Let's see if I'll do it. 'Cause that would be useful.